Hi there, welcome back. In last video we talked about how to create Numpy array, and today we're going to talk about how do we access, how do we use them. So there are many ways to create Numpy arrays. You can create 1D, 2D, 3D, or even more higher dimensional arrays. So this is the example is you have 3D. In this case, let's talk about, go back to beginning. Let's create a single one-dimensional array. Let's say we can use np.random, which is, I always like to use random numbers. So this random int means create random integers. The maximum integer will be less than 10, and basically it's between 0 to 9. And then the size, let's use 10 numbers. So it means that if we say what is A, let's try to display them. A will be a random list. See that we call it array, right? It's also, you can see a list that's from these random numbers. We have 10 of them. They say maximum is 9, the minimum is 0. Okay, so that is array. You can see it has more than one number, right? It's a list of them. So how do we access each individual ones? So for example, if we access it, we can use square bracket, we can use 0. Remember, Python is the same as C or C++, index always start with 0. So which means the very first one, its index is 0, and very last one is 9 in our case. We have 10 of them. It's 10 minus 1. That's the very last one. Okay, so if we do that, we can see 0, that is 6. If we say 9, that will be the last one, will be 8. Okay, so let's say, how do we get in -1? Remember, what is -1? -1 is same as the last. It's in Python, we know the -1 is go backwards. It's the very last one, so it's the same as a 9. So there have other way to do it. You can have a range of them. Like for example, let's go from 3 to 8. What that means is we want to get a range of numbers from the list, starting from index 3, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, which is 6, and go all the way less than 8. So it's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is what we have. 5 numbers from index 3 all the way to 7. Okay, so you can see we can even have more interesting things like 5. What is the common 5? That is the number. You can see the first 5 numbers start from 0 all the way to less than 5, which is 4. And also we can do this. You can do 5 and colon, that is starting from index 5 and all the way to the very end of this list. So you can see that is what we have. And that is what typically you can use for one-dimensional array. Let's use a illustration to demonstrate this. We can say not just use text, but we can also visualize, use some illustration animation to show better how they look like. Okay, let's look some 1D array examples. This is the code we had earlier. Let's create NumPy random array with 10 numbers. Look at this blue lines, the blue index, those index we had, right? Those numbers start from 0 all the way to 9 for 10 numbers. Okay, let's answer some questions. What is A0 in this case? 0, look at the blue numbers. That is beginning of this array, which is 4. So what is A4 in this question? Look at the blue number 4. That indicate the number inside the array is 8. So what is a -1? I don't see any -1 in the blue numbers, but again, Python, that means the last. We see negative number, that means go backwards. That is the last. What is a 3, 7? that is indicates it starts with index 3 all the way to less than 7. So we say 4 numbers in this case. Okay, so what is comma 5? Comma 5, there's column 5, sorry. And the first one that missing, number is missing, which means it's beginning. So that's from beginning all the way to less than 5, so 0 to 4. How about we swap it? 5 colon, that means it's starting with index 5 all the way to the end. No matter how big your array is, it's all the way to the end. Let's talk about this case. What is a colon 2? So have 2 columns. What is that? That means the first column indicates there's for all the numbers, but second column indicating that what is a step. In this case, a step, which means we get the number every other one. So look what we have. We have a 5 numbers getting from 10 for every other step. Okay, let's now look at 2D array case. Let's say we have a b equal to np.random int. So we can still use 10, which is we got random number from 0 to 9, and then we have size equal to, let's say, a by a. So what do we have? So which means the b is not a 1D array now. The d is 2D array. 2D, they have 2 numbers. So the total size is 8 by 8, which is 64 in our case. So let's print b. B, you can see this is the content. We have 8 rows and 8 columns. Okay, so since b is a 2-dimensional array, so when you access it, you need to have 2 numbers to access it. So for example, if it's 0, 0, that is the very first row, very first column, that is 2 in our case. And if you say b 5, 5, that is the row 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This row, and this is the row, right? And the column is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This column. So here the intersection is 4. That's what we have. So we can also have b -1 and -1. What is that? That is the very last number right here. Okay, and also we can have get a column, for example. So 1, let's say 1 common column. So what that means is we want to get the second row, which is 1, which is second row, but get all the value in the second row, which is 7, 2, 9, 4, 8, 8, 1, 8. You can see this is what we have. But the same, if we got 8, if we swap it, we got column and 1. That means we want to get the second columns in this table. Go start from 2, 2, 0, 1, 0, 7, 1, 9. You can say 2, 2, 0, 1, 0, 7, 1, 9, right? And also we can have a area, a range of them. For example, we can have 1 to 4, 1 to 4. What that means is it's getting something like starting with 1 and less than 4. So it's 3 rows, and same as this, 3 columns. So it's 3 by 3. So you can see that it's 1, starting 1, 1, and all the way to, so it's 2, 9, 4 to less than 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 3 numbers. Okay, let's also illustrate this using an animation so we can better understand them. Code, and this time we use size 4 by 4 for illustration purpose. So we have 4 by 4 array, which is 16 total numbers. It says blue line also indicate the index. We have I and j, which is number of rows and number of columns. So what is A00? You see we have 2 numbers, indicates the first column, first row. Okay, so that's the very first number in this case. So what is 0, comma, column? So we say that is first row. 0 means first row. Column means all the numbers in this row. If we swap them, then we have to say first one is column, second one is 0. So that means all the number in the first column. Okay, so what is 1, 3, 1, 3? That is the middle area. We start with 1, row 1, 2, 3, and column 1, 2, 3. So we have is 2 by 2 array in this case. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you like this video. If you do, don't forget subscribe it and click the like button. See you next time.